It is storming outside. I don't know if the camera picked that up. Wait. Oh, I really hope the mic picks up the thunderstorm. That would be so cool. What's going on, you guys? It's your Huggable Hipster here, and it's time to piss some people off. I'm a little bit trepidatious, mostly excited, because as with every review, a game will reach out its hand to me and be like, hey, you, come hither, come join me in my, splendiferousness. And sometimes I'm like, yes, game, I'll join you. And other times, like this one, I'm like, oh god, no. So right off the bat, I want to let you guys know that I didn't finish the game. I can hear the booing. Yeah, I know I didn't finish a game and I'm reviewing it. What? Halfway through the game, when I got to the point in New Vegas, and those of you who have completed the game will know which area I'm talking about, of where you're just about to go into New Vegas, but you have to, if you don't have like 2,000 caps, you have to get an ID, and in order to go into the strip area. So that's where, that's where I was up to. The bugs were preventing me from completing the game, and there were certain quest lines that were required to complete main missions, and I couldn't complete them, which I will dive into why later on. With that being said, this game was kind of a mixed bag for me. At some points I was like, oh, there are things I really love about this world and about these characters. And then there were either gameplay bits or things that I did during my research of where I just rolled back into my chair and sighed and thought, okay, here we go again. I'm back in Fallout 3. The game kind of blurs the lines between racism and edgy sarcasm, and at points I was kind of like scrolling through different articles and I was doing research and I was playing the game and I'm like, why? Why? But on the flip side, this game makes characters so incredibly immersive. This game creates a fun deep dive into stories of each character. Like there was one that won the lottery and I did like a little deep dive research into his character. He's so cool. Like, I mean, there are different characters here that I thoroughly enjoyed, and I would literally just go and research some of them because I thought that, oh, their backstories, those were so interesting. It left me feeling to an extent both happy and irritated. Really happy because I got to see these worlds that these characters were built into, and irritated because I really wanted to like this game. Like on a scale of 1 to 1,000,000, I wanted to be like loving just at least one Fallout game, because I know that for me personally, I found that the others sucked for me. So I thought, you know what, please let me just universe, let me just enjoy this one experience of Fallout. And they're like, no. The stories of some of the characters, I have to add, were just immersive and downright hilarious. Like they were just so good. The stories of these characters sucked me in, and it made me believe that a wasteland like that could actually exist. Now, while this game has really cool things about it, and while it has hopeful bits, there is this part of it that is just basically unplayable, and that it should be fixed by the fans if they have, if they want to have any hope of completing it at all whatsoever. I think the mods of this community, by far, are the greatest thing to have ever graced the Fallout games. I honestly have so much respect for them. I have so much love for them. I will forever be in awe of the people who make modifications possible for this game, for any game for that matter. You guys are the true heroes. Now, I will say I played this game and I played what I could of it on PC. A lot of people were telling me that no, you have to play it on console. It's a lot better on console, and I wish I would have known that before I had decided to purchase it on PC, but it is what it is. If I do decide to dip the proverbial toes back into the waters of Fallout, I might try again at some point, because you guys really have no idea how much I truly, really want to like this game. Like, I really do, because I see its potential. I see all the love that Obsidian put into it, and I see so much good with it. It's just, oh god, why? Why do I have to be myself sometimes? I know some journalists can actually relate to this, just on a quick side note of where, like, there are some of my friends in the journalism space of where, like, they'll sit down and they'll write an article and they'll think, oh crap, people are going to hate me for this, aren't they? That's exactly what I think of sometimes. I think, oh god, people are going to hate me for this, but I know I have to say it, because what kind of journalist would I be if I didn't speak on my truth, The controls I will barely be going into, because those gave me little to no issues at all whatsoever, surprisingly, because they were very good. They were sensitive enough. They did their job and they did what they were supposed to do. So I really have no qualms with the controls whatsoever. But it was the it was the getting stuck on doors. It was entering into this constant death loop after it would save at kind of like a weird spot, because I know that there's a manual save. I know that there's an auto save at certain points, but don't rely on the auto save if you plan on playing Fallout games, because it doesn't really work too well. Even entering in, into different spots of the game, I found that there were it was one major bug at two spots, but it was 2 points of which there were major bugs that really honestly prevented me from finishing the game. And it was where a character that was part of the main storyline for certain quests wouldn't spawn at the end so I could complete the quest and move on to the next checkpoint. So that was really irritating for me. That was something of where it happened twice in the game. Bethesda's It Just Works model hasn't been working for a very long time. I might add, the community as a whole, again, I will say, is relied on the majority of the time to make games work. They're mostly relied on to make games work and to deliver an amazing product. And if the company had just gotten it right and not used the software that they've been using since basically Fallout 3, because the software, from what I'm told and what I've heard from Fallout 3, has carried through. They're using the same software for development up to Fallout 76. That's not growth. That is hindering the possibilities for a great game. And even Starfield, you can tell that Starfield looks like Fallout. You can tell without a doubt. It's just like, with the story, with the bugs that I encountered, with everything, it kind of clouds the way and makes experiencing this game for what it is, it makes it kind of impossible for me to do that. There are shadows that dimly light the hallways, cloaked in secrets of a character's past that even the characters themselves is still trying to remember. In this installment of Fallout, I need to find the person that nearly killed me. That's it. That's it. There's no hidden theme, no monumental reason. I just was a courier taking on the wrong mission at the wrong time. Who knows? I was possibly delivering a pizza, but I'll never get to know if I got that, 5 stars. I'll never get to know if I was rated well on Yelp. The story for me personally had no drive for just as a player to go from point A to point B, other than wanting to find the person that nearly killed me, which, by the way, why would I want to do that? Why would I want to find a person who tried to kill me and risk death or further harm to myself? Why would I want to do this? Why not just, if I escaped death, I wouldn't want to chase down the guy who tried to kill me just so he could finish the job. Let me live my life in New Vegas and with the cigarette smoke clouding my view and some poor schmuck proclaiming that he won the lottery. I would much rather live that way than the latter. There's no debate about this. It's a wastelander's bliss, might I add. If you go to New Vegas, you get yourself a solid 5-night hotel stay seeing an Elvis impersonator. Bada bing, bada boom. You're finished. You're Gucci. You're good. A lot of the side quest stories, though, they are funny. Some of them are boring and purely racist, but a lot of them are actually really funny and grounded, and so much work. Oh my god, so much work has been put into those side quests. Like, my goodness, there's so many ways to start them. There's so many ways to end them. There's just an endless amount of opportunities with a lot of the side quests. There's one side quest, though, that I have to go into because I feel like, again, I need to discuss this. For me, it is racist, because whenever you go into this kind of discussion about colonization, about what that entails, about kind of the history of it in America, you go into a very heavy and very deep conversation. There was an article that I found, which will be down in the description below for you guys to discuss. Someone discussed, about racist content in Fallout New Vegas in 2017. And it's interesting that was even talked about then when the game was released. According to a lot of my friends who have played the game, this game, New Vegas, was heavily criticized and basically told that it was a Fallout 3 DLC of some sort. So that's very interesting to know. Now it states here in a quote that I got from the article, which is in Fallout New Vegas expansion pack Honest Hearts, the player character travels to Zion. Not Zion of Israel, but what is presumably Zion National Park in southwest Utah. Zion is a very new name for the canyons. Its lands and native human record dating back around 10,000 years, and was named Zion only about 200 years ago in the 1850s when Mormon colonists first came into the area. Those Mormons disrupted the natural ecosystem that the Southwest Paiute and somewhat broad native group, many constituent bands, relied on, forcing natives off their generational lands after less than a decade. So there's even an upgrade in an achievement, which you guys can read over here. And it says, you do not take kindly to raiders, junkies, or tribals trying to stay alive in civilized lands. I have a problem with this. I have a very, very, very big problem with this. And I know people are going to tell me, it's supposed to be a joke. It's supposed to be a caricature of the United States, I see that a game can create humor in really tense circumstances, and I've seen games really do that very well. I've seen games create comic relief and poke fun at times, but for me, it was not something I personally found funny and or comedic. For me, it created a pit in my stomach the same way Fallout 3 did when I was playing through it. It's not a very pleasant experience at all, to say the least. I know some people can see the humor in Fallout's poorly timed jokes and humor, but for me, it's like, I don't know, and even they can laugh at the concept that the game very well may be trying to deliver. And the thing is that I know people can see the humor in the Fallout game's poorly timed jokes and laugh at the concept that the game might very well be trying to deliver. And the game could easily be saying, hey, racism is wrong, you shouldn't be a bad person, which, duh. But the way in which Bethesda was delivering that particular message to me, it had the opposite effect, the way in which they were going about it. I see their words as poorly timed humor and just edgy to be edgy. This game is a minefield and a mixture of, like I've stated earlier, poorly written jokes, beautiful sceneries, funny one-liners, and quite frankly, a boring story. There are so many ways to approach the story, and there are so many beautiful things about this game, and there are so many things that this game has to offer, and I feel like given the right opportunity, I feel like this game, it could have been more than it was. I feel like if made today, this game could have been absolutely fantastic. This game could have been so well done. It could have broken the barriers for open world games. If done today in 2022, this game would have been an absolute just full-on masterpiece 100%. Like, I see bits of pieces of light within the nightmare that I experienced. The gaming community gives this game a pass, so to speak, because it is a Fallout game, because it is nostalgic for them. And there are some people who, have played it fairly recently and they got hooked on it, and I love that people can get hooked on an experience later on and it clicks for some people, but for me, it didn't click at all. It's very nostalgic. I will say again, for those who grew up with it, and nostalgia most of the time is a drug that will corrupt even the smartest person. Nostalgia tends to create a positive narrative and a positive mindset and turns obvious red flags into rose petals. So yeah, that was my review on Fallout New Vegas. It's interesting. I play every game that I own and that I'm asked to review with an open mind and an open heart. I don't ever want you guys to think that I am bashing a game or saying things just because I have a pen. But that's not my goal. My goal is to really have people be observant of the games that they are playing, of the worlds that they are diving into when they experience a game. My whole aim for journalism, as a journalist, I want people to open their minds and not be, how do I say this? Not be so kind of like, this is like desensitized when they go into an experience of a game, because I want them to know the world around them. I want people to know what they're going into. I want people to experience a game that, you know, has all those little nuances and all that little stuff around it. If what I am saying in a video or a review ever comes across like I'm being bitchy or I'm being a jerk, at least at least you guys are hearing my words. You guys are hearing what I'm saying, what I'm putting out there in a respectful, logical, instructive manner. And that's my whole thing. I'm not some troll that wants to get a rise out of people. I want people to be educated about the games that they are playing because I care about the community and I care about the games that are being created and how they have impacts on the mind. So when it comes down to all of this, I respect Fallout fans. I respect the modders. I respect everyone who has had a part in the series because it's a part of their lives. It's a part of who they are. But you guys, that is it for me on this review. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope you guys got something out of it. And if you guys like my face and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit that bell down below because I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This Friday is going to be an Animal Crossings video. I know, 2 Animal Crossings video in a week. What is she doing? But yeah, I'm really having a lot of fun with this, seeing the tea on the island. But you guys, that's it for me. Stay casually nerdy, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, you guys.